What's good, YouTube? We're back with another great video, the most tragic K-pop trainee stories. We have these stories that are super difficult to watch, so let's go on with it.
The pop industry is scary and unforgiving and has unfortunately cost a lot of lives. Many idols tragically
A lot of
end their
suicides,
lives
but
due to
it's
the
harsh.
relentless harassment and pressure they face. An Sojin is a less-known victim of the harsh realities of the industry, but her story is just as important. Sojin was known as a contestant on the Kara project, which was a survival show featuring the girl group Kara and was broadcast on NBC Music in 2014. The program aimed to find a new member of Kara among the DSP Media's trainees after Nicole and Ji-young had left the group. With only 3 members left, the company couldn't afford to disband the group at their peak, so instead they decided to make their trainees compete for a spot. The show itself, especially compared to other
Imagine, bro, like going out against your own teammates that you've been together with so long.
Shows that are airing today was pretty boring and uneventful. The contestants had to complete 5 missions and perform different Kara songs live on stage, with the judges giving their evaluation afterward. But even though to viewers this was just another survival show, for these girls it was the last chance to debut, so the competition was brutal behind the scenes. They all stood out with their talents and skills, but unfortunately only 1 trainee would get chosen to debut in the group. The original plan was to add 2 members so they could fill out the 2 spots left by Nicole and Jin-young, but in the end, the company decided to go with just 1 trainee. And Sojin was one of the 7 DSP Media trainees to compete in the show. She was the oldest contestant among the trainees at only 22 years old. Before Kara Project, she participated in Superstar K1, but she had plans to debut in a DSP Media group, as she had been part of the company as a trainee for 5 years. However, her father was very vocal about how little he supported Sojin's dreams of becoming a K-pop idol, which added even more pressure on her to do well and eventually
we saw some idols that got all the support, like the girls from Twice, the support from her grandmas and family, but her not having any support at all.
It's not easy, bro. It's not easy.
To have been going well since the beginning. She and Sunmi, who would end up debuting in April, were among the favorite contestants. Sojin was really mature and bubbly, and she had never failed to lift everyone's spirits. She was also given a leadership position early on since she was the eldest trainee, but even though it was a burden, Sojin never let it show, as she kept going on with the same enthusiasm. She was a winner in everyone's eyes from early on. She was talented, charming, and had visuals that would match the rest of the Kara members. Considering all this, imagine everyone's surprise when Ho Young-ji was crowned as the winner and was the trainee who ended up joining Kara. This was a heartbreaking moment for Sojin that shattered her dreams. Young-ji's win was controversial in a lot of ways, and there were a lot of theories about it. She wasn't a part of the first 2 episodes due to health reasons, so people felt like her spot as number 1 was undeserving. Despite her talent and charm, some believed she shouldn't have won because she missed the first 2 episodes, unlike the other trainees who had been there for all 6. However, some said that this had happened because DSP Media didn't want the new member to possibly overshadow the current Kara members, and both Sojin and Somin had a fandom of their own at that point. Because of this, the public thought that Young-ji was chosen to join the group because she wouldn't be as popular as Yuri, Seungyeon, and Hara, and the group would still be complete. There were also rumors that her family was rich, but what mattered was that she was the one to debut, with Somin coming in 2nd place and Sojin coming in 3rd. After the show was over, the contestants went their separate ways. Somin, who came in 2nd, debuted as a member of April in 2015, but then left to debut as a part of KARD in 2017. Chaewon, who got 4th place, also debuted in April and was a part of the group until their disbandment. Chae-kyung, the trainee who placed 5th, did a lot before finally debuting in April. She took part in Produce 101 before debuting as part of the project groups SIVA and IBI in 2016. Then in 2017, she debuted in April. Shi-yoon, who came in 6th, also competed in Produce 101, and Yuji debuted as part of Applebee after leaving DSP Media. And once the group disbanded, she debuted in Sodu Ai. Looking at how their careers unfolded after the Kara projects, we can assume that most of the participants were dealt with a bad hand. All the April members were involved in the mistreatment.
April gives an exclusive tell-all interview regarding allegations. All members were scared of Hyunjo. It is probably the message person.
Scandals and have been trying to rebuild their careers ever since. However, Sojin unfortunately had the most tragic end of all of them. One of the biggest concerns of Sojin throughout the show was her age. Even though she was only 22, she was the eldest of the trainees and had been there for 5 long years, waiting for the company to finally put her on stage so she could show what she worked towards all these years. And she
5 years, bro. Imagine you're in that company. Whatever, well, I don't know what the name was of the company. You see people people come and leave and become K-pop idols and stuff, and
Yeah.
you're right there standing as a trainee.
Yeah, it's a crazy feeling.
That's a rough feeling to feel,
However,
though.
she was unfortunately considered too old to debut, even though she was very young, as the average debuting age was 18 to 19.
God
Because
damn.
of this, the Era project was kind of an all-or-nothing deal for her. Either she would debut in this group, which would open the doors for her idol career, or she would fail, and all the time, money, and effort she had put into debuting would go down the drain. Watching friends and fellow trainees progress in their lives by debuting, graduating, or finding jobs only added more stress onto Sojin's plate. After 5 years as a trainee and her father's disapproval of her career choice, the show's conclusion with her placing third, not even second, felt like her world had come crumbling down. Fans and viewers were still hopeful about both her and Somin. If they didn't end up debuting in Kara, there were still hopes that they would debut in a new girl group, or that DSP Media would form a group just to include the trainees that didn't make it. It made sense. They had built an audience and fan base through the show, shown their skills, and proven themselves to be worthy of an idol career. Even if DSP Media didn't want to debut her, there was probably some other company that would be desperate to get her hands on her and debut her in their new group. But everyone was expecting her to be a member, or even the leader of April, and as you may know, this never ended up happening. In January of 2015, a few months after the show came to an end, Sojin left DSP Media without much noise. It was said that she went back home after the show ended, but overall, there was no official announcement on her departure, nor was it ever revealed what happened for her to leave. DSP said that they came to a mutual agreement to end her contract, but
Terminated her
the
contract.
is that the company terminated her contract without notice, a decision which was seen as questionable. Since Sojin was there for so long, you would think that DSP would know what they would be doing with her. While it's acknowledged that the industry is harsh and unforgiving and not
Industry only cares about the,
5 years
you know,
to a company should count for something.
you know.
Keeping her there for an extended period, making her participate in the show, and having her build a potential fan base only to terminate her contract seemed like a problematic decision, and it was Sojin's last straw. According to her friends, she had been suffering from depression for some time at that point, so the termination of her contract completely destroyed her. She blamed herself for not coming in first on the show and convinced herself that the Kara project was her last chance to debut. So on February 25th, 2015, only a month after the termination of her contract, Sojin took her own life. Reports state that Sojin was unconscious in a garden in front of her apartment complex. Even though she was sent to the hospital immediately and the medical staff did their best to save her, she did not make it. The police suspected that she jumped from the 10th floor of the apartment, but urged the public not to make any assumptions on why she chose to do this. This case is still known to be one of the most tragic ones, as Sojin was so young.
Why she chose to do
Bro.
mental health, bro, come on.
I wasn't expecting this.
Holy fuck.
Shed a light to a terrible aspect of the industry. Idols have been debuting young since the dawn of time. Icon Boa debuted when she was only 13. Shiny's Taemin, FX's Crystal, Hyuna, IZONE and NCT's Jisung all debuted when they were 14. And
That's
BTS,
crazy.
14, bro. Imagine that.
The other one was 13.
That
This
girl,
one.
Ivy.
Later.
Idols have been debuting young since the dawn of time. Icon Boa debuted when she was only
13.
13. Shiny's Taemin,
Shiny Stamen, Crystal, and
and
Hyuna.
FX's Crystal, Hyuna, IZONE and NCT.
One Young from Ivy.
Jisung all debuted when they were 14, and BTS's
only
Jungkook
14.
and redvelvet's Yeri debuted when they were only 15.
you got
However,
Jungkook
nowadays,
15.
despite the overall criticism, the age at which idols are debuting is decreasing severely. For male idols, it's more ideal for the company to debut them when they're younger due to the fact that they have to enlist at some point. Female idols encounter a challenge seemingly worse than military obligations, ageism. In the entertainment industry, women are often viewed as outdated
how
by the
dumb
age
that
of 30, and in K-pop, female idols are deemed to be past their prime by 25. Therefore, debuting when they're younger allows them about 10 years before being labeled as too old, making it a more appealing
25
prospect
is
for
old, bro.
companies.
What
So
the-
despite the fact that Somin was literally just starting her life and was very young, she still felt like her career was over just because she couldn't debut at 22. Her unfortunate and tragic passing should have served as a warning to the industry when it comes to considering human beings as disposable, yet no changes have been made. Just how many people need to lose their lives just because the industry refuses to change their ways?
That's crazy.
If 22 is old, then any sort of like visual thing or vocal thing, as soon as I know, but when you turn 22, your voice doesn't change and your visual doesn't change. So what's up with it? This really made me mad, bro. No one should actually get punished, but like, because I don't know what to say.
I mean, when you think of a singer, you think like they can go the career is gonna be so long. Like some of them even go when they're 60 or 50, you know.
Yeah.
But I guess K-pop, when you're an idol, it's not just about singing. They try to do everything possible. It's like a human being can do, and that's really crazy. It's fucked up.
Like this.
And this story is really tragic for the whole K-pop. You know, not just for the companies, it's for the fans, it's for the Korean people, it's for the opportunities that they want to do with the future too. You know, it's really fucked up.